Hello viewers, Super GT here, and when I say Super GT I mean the cars. We're driving Group 2 as you can see here. This is the grid for a 13 lap race around Interlagos. Now one thing I'm going to say right now at the beginning is once you finish watching this video, go and have a lengthy shower because it's about to get extremely filthy here on the streets of Interlagos. Well, it's not a street, it's a racetrack, but you get the idea. Into first corner, and we've seen our first contact, so I've already nudged the German. I'm going to back off to let him keep his position. So this race is, or to say the least, is going to get messy. I think that's the best way to sum it up, as we go down the hill into the fast turn 4. So driving the Lexus, often the kind of the best choice for this class. Easy to drive this car. The Honda can be very quick, 1 lap pace, but a bit tricky to drive. The guy behind is actually in the Honda, the NSX. So into the twisty infield section, German going for some interesting lines across the grass, and then actually comes back to bite him as he spins out. I can't really get past him. I'm going to look up the inside, and on the braking zone we're both going to basically turn across each other, and I'm going to go up the inside anyway. So he's down a couple of positions. So the game not deeming that a penalty somehow. Well, to be fair, he kind of turned right and I turned left into the braking zone. Normally be going slightly to the left, but we continue up the hill, the long climb to round out the lap. 13 laps in total to do in this race. As we have our fellow Brits there, Gerbil face, swerving behind me. So a nice big gap as we cross the line to begin the second lap into turn 1 and get smashed into, get punted off the corner and do a nice 900-degree turn. Tony Hawk will be proud of that one. So there we go, Gerbil face, thanks so much for that. Nice big punt out of nowhere. This guy here just reminding me what we should all probably be doing during this race, die with honour. I don't think the survival rate would be particularly high during this race. I think the sportsmanship rating is going to take an absolute dive once we finish this one. So a bit of contact, and again just totally clumsy. So backing off, let him keep his position. Although sometimes you hit someone from behind, you back off to let them keep the position, and you just get the penalty anyway. So it's almost like you should have just carried on. But on this occasion, not getting a penalty. So down in the midst of the pack here, in 8th place. You can actually see, just look at that, look how close it is. Fairly well matched drivers here in terms of pace, at least on this early, on the early laps here. So running out turn 11, it looks fairly easy that corner, but it's actually really easy to lose traction. Driving with 0 traction control, and it's very easy to lose the rear end. And up through the main straight. Definitely got to tuck into that slipstream to really make the most of your car's potential in terms of top end, and of course it leads into the best overtaking opportunity on the lap. So going to go past a Frenchman who's slow up the inside of Die With Honour, and he tries to defend it around the outside, goes way too deep, and he's going to slide wide. I'm up into my natural habitat of 6th position, and I'm going to round out turn 3, round out the centre S. Long straight down to turn 4, chasing down German now, looking for the 100 board. There it is. German goes a little bit wide, and I'm just trying to slow down, and he kind of just awkwardly positions himself on the racing line, and there's, well, just awkward contact, and we get passed by 2 guys there into the next corner. He's clearly not happy with that. I get punted into the concrete barrier and lose another couple of positions, lose 3 positions in. We've got another German up the inside, and that guy just bows out completely. Did he rage quit or get reset? I don't know, but he's gone for now. He's no longer an issue for this current moment. So down to 10th. This happens, this happens a fair amount. You qualify quite well, and one little incident and you're back in the middle of the pack, and it can be really difficult to get out of it. Even if you're, let's say, a second a lap quicker, you can just get totally stuck in a pack, and there's no way to get out, because you get to the front of it and then you just get overtaken or get hit a little bit or something, and it's very hard to escape. But we're going to do our best here. Daily race C, so we have a fair amount of time. Plenty of contact going on, plenty of ghosting. I don't even know sometimes who is ghosted, who you can go through or who you can't. But look at this, 4 cars. The Frenchman rudely passing the German. No mercy shown today. Down the hill into turn 4, looking for our braking zone. There we go. No contact made just in the moment. The Frenchman up the inside. The Finn quite slow on the apex, and I just tried to get on the power whilst on the curb. Big mistake, and I lose a couple of seconds. Luckily not many more positions, there wasn't anyone there to quite capitalise on it. But again, this is another thing. Once you get hit off, you got to stay cool, stay calm and collected. It's very easy to get agitated and start driving far too aggressively, trying to make up the positions. But if you do that, you often make many more mistakes, which I've done. I've done that here, and it's really not paying dividends. So, oh, he's just going to back off. He's going to serve a penalty, I suppose. Luckily, I still haven't got a penalty yet, as we come up into Junkao, turn 12. Important corner this, as it leads onto the main straight. A lengthy straight, and you're going uphill as well, so your speed is crucial. So we're going to fast forward slightly. Yellow flag into turn 1. What is going on here? We've got an Italian who's just been reset. We're going to get a free overtake. There we go, ghosting right through the centre of him. Always love a good ghost overtake, as you lose pretty much 0 time in doing it. But he's going to get a run on me now. Slow Frenchman, who's just backing off, or possibly recovering from a crash. The Italian up the inside, so fair move. Try to follow him through. And as we come up now into turn 6, he's going to go defensive. Okay, come back. It's not really the best overtaking opportunity, that turn. We're going to follow him closely now into turn 8. You see just how close we get to the rear bumper. So these corners here can be fairly awkward actually, especially accelerating on the exit. These cars of course have a lot of power. And I've just tipped the grass, just going to tip me around slightly. And once again you can see just how agitated I am, just driving not really within myself, just trying to push a little bit too hard, when just kind of holding back and being a bit more consistent would be more suitable. So up the hill for the 5th time. So the German in tow, about or less than a second behind. The Italian now just over a second behind, in front. But now they're battling as we progress now on turn 4, lap 6. So another yellow flag. Frenchman spun around there. Maybe an accident on the curb, or with someone else presumably, but we don't know. So now the Finn and the Italian battling up ahead, and this is what we want to see in terms of being able to catch up with these guys. Is going to be a lot easier if they're fighting, but then you're going to lose a lot of time fighting with them once you do catch up. So there is, you gain and then you lose once you get up to them. So then into turn 10, very slow corner, traction crucial on the exit, very easy to lose control. And then this turn again, very easy to lose control, as the Finn almost does. I look for the move, I'm not quite close enough. It's just one of those races where things just aren't falling my way. People just getting reset exactly, or just they're just getting reset exactly into your path, and you can't quite capitalise on it. Always frustrating when that happens. I suppose that's just racing. Sometimes you get the luck, sometimes you don't. You kind of just have to make the most of it when you do get the opportunity. Into turn 1, the German goes for a lunge, and it looks like a really weird move, and I'm just going to cut him back on the centre S. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked a bit laggy, as if we're kind of ghosted against each other. I didn't really feel the contact, but we do get through, back through. A couple of people went into the pit lane, so as I said, well, I might have said 13 laps. So of course odd number, which means there isn't really a halfway point exactly in terms of complete laps. So you can be pitting at the end of 6 or 7 most likely. So I'm going to opt to pit at the end of 7, which means I'll have fresher tyres for the second stint. Obviously this lap here could be crucial because I'm on crap tyres, whereas the people who have pitted will be on fresh tyres, so they could get that undercut on me. But just fast forwarding that lap, not too much going on. As we now come up to finish the lap, you can see the front right tyre worn a lot more. So it is anti-clockwise circuit this, so that is likely to happen. or is always going to happen. So going in with 5% fuel, about normal. Someone just behind there with 11%, so he's a bit better on his fuel. And beautiful pit stop animation once again. Thank you to John for the livery, as you can see there, the Super GT livery. He used it during the Suzuka live stream. So on the exit, where are we now? Down to, it says 14, no, we're actually in 6th place. 10 seconds off the lead. I'm not sure if a race win is quite possible now, as we're going to skip this lap. There's not really much happening. I kind of got released into fresh air either side of me. So the German now about a second behind, catching up with a Belgian just ahead into the Senna S. Lap 9 now, so just shy of 5 laps remaining as we now come through turn number 3, Curve de Sol. So then, a nice big gap behind. I'm going to try to get past this guy. He's got a penalty, quite how big I don't know. He brakes very early, so I'm going to have to kind of go up the inside to kind of escape hitting him in the back. We've got a slow Frenchman here as we now scan ahead. Plenty of people with penalties. That could be crucial at the end of the race, or at some point during the next 4.5 laps. So the Belgian up the inside, and the Frenchman comes back at him as he goes up the inside. Not much respect being shown here, as now the Belgian fights back, and I'm going to go up the inside, slip my way past, but he's still got a nose alongside into turn 10. The Frenchman, is he quite going to do it? We leave each other space, but I'm going to get the superior traction on the exit through turn 11 and take 5th place, although he's going to come back at me, so I'll go semi-defensive on the way in to make him think twice, and he doesn't quite go for it. So then onto the main straight, and tuck into that slipstream, pull alongside, and he's not going to give me much room. I'm going to have to go 2 wheels on the curb as we come past. Up into 4th position is a close packet of 4 people battling for 4th place. Into turn 1 then, looking for 75 metres before the corner. We're going to get punted on. We have to take to the AstroTurf, and well, I'm kind of forced to cut the corner there. And you see they're not getting a penalty, but I think rightly so, because if you're going to get punted into it, then it's not really your fault. And hostilities can now resume at turn 4 as I kind of braked a little bit early. Didn't see that guy coming. As the Belgian goes up the inside. German tries to follow him through, so close battling here indeed, and these 2 guys do have penalties which could be crucial by the end of the race. Side by side for this corner, into the next slow hairpin, so the slow rolling corners here. The German coming in for an attack, and through the left of 9, just tried to run him a little bit wide, and we're just basically stuck on each other on the exit as now he goes through. So from now, I think I can try to be a little bit cautious. I know I'll get slated for trying to be a cautious guy, but these guys have penalties, and there's no need for me to go and get one as well. It's going to be one of those races, I think, where I could sort of just try to do the opposite of these guys. They've been extremely forceful, and I think from here I could just try being nice and careful, just sitting in behind and wait for them to serve their penalties. As we approach turn 1 then, German goes for a lunge from behind. The Belgian's not going to have any of it, fighting him off, pushing him wide. German comes back at him. It's World War II all over again. Frenchman's joined the battle, and wow, hostilities resume. 1918 colorised as we now come down the back straight. Frenchman on my outside. I've got the inside line, but he's going to sweep around the outside into 5th. So positions changing every corner here. Frenchman comes back into the battle. The German now in the lead. The Belgian just dropping off behind as we come up the hill into turn 8, or sorry, turn 6 and 7. So one long double corner. Now into this corner. Getting on the brakes, just tapping the Frenchman. But then the Belgian out of nowhere, with a scintillating attack, punts me wide and comes through into 6th place. He wants to be Super GT in that 6th place. So now I'm down into 7th. But still, the 3 guys immediately ahead, all having penalties to serve. Another Frenchman behind as we get slightly out of shape through the apex of turn 11. A little bit wide through the apex of 12. So I'm going to give us a good run. You can see just how much time we've lost to 4th and 5th now. Probably a second or 2. We'll give this guy car width on the inside, the Frenchman. I've got the slipstream from the Belgian just ahead, so I might be able to just about get ahead as we now come up to the first turn. 2 laps left to go on the brakes. It's an amazing move, probably the best move you've seen all day, but the Belgian not having any of it. I have to take the escape road once again, as well, I kind of put myself up the inside and somehow don't get a penalty for that, even though I kind of kept my foot in the entire time across the AstroTurf. But once again, kind of forced into it. German comes through the middle. It's all kicking off now as I get a little bit of a slide on. Don't want to repeat my mistake that I made on the earlier laps. So sitting in 6th position as it stands right now, 1.5 laps left to go. Can I get into that 4th place? I don't think the top 3 is going to be possible now unless they have huge penalties. The Italian in 3rd has done well to kind of get through. I was battling with him earlier, but he's had the pace and the ability to get away from this group. So I mean, it's disappointing. I qualified 2nd, so I mean, you should ideally be finishing up there. And I think if not for that punt at the end of lap, also at the beginning of lap 2, which cost me quite a lot of time, I don't think I would quite be battling this far down. But it's made for a very exciting race. The Belgian, clearly the French guy behind us had enough. He's just not having any more of it. He's just going to punt him off the circuit at the final turn. As we now come across the line, 1 lap remaining, sitting in 6th. The 2 guys have got penalties. So quite how this one's going to get resolved, I don't know. You don't know how big their penalties are. So cleanly through turn 1, then through turn 2. And the French guy is sliding around through Curve de Sol. So I'm going to take over 5th. We're just hoping, we're just praying right now that he isn't close enough to go for a massive punt into turn 4, and he's not, or he's not going to go for it anyway. So now just tucked up behind the German. I'm going to have to try to, I'm not going to really force the issue too much. I don't want him to kind of get angry. He is already turning green, so you don't want to make him too angry. And well, he's going to come across, go wide, and come back across completely. I thought he was going to lunge me here, but he didn't. That was another interesting phenomenon. It kind of happens a lot. People go wide, but then they cut back across the apex when you're trying to go up the inside. But we're going to get through. No penalty. The game deeming that okay. As we now have a barely quarter of a lap remaining. Can I stay ahead? The French guy just behind. Is he going to go for that lunge? I don't think he is. He knows he's got a penalty. Probably won't want to make that any worse. As we now come up to the line, he's got a chance of slipstream, but he has that penalty. There's no chance. I'm going to finish in 4th. So quite happily, it was good that I could actually finish 4th on the road rather than waiting for them to get penalties instead. And there we go. Checker flag is waving across the line to finish 4th. So a decent recovery after many, many incidents. Getting pushed back into the middle of the pack. You see the 2 Germans 1st and 2nd. The Italian doing well to finish 8 seconds ahead of me. I'd love to see how big the penalties were. All we can see there is the red dot. All we know is that they did get a penalty. And even the car's making contact on the rolling down lap. But there we go, guys. Let me know your thoughts as always. I hope you enjoyed it. It was an absolutely chaotic race. Somehow getting the clean race badge there. Quite how that happened, I don't know. And 0 penalties. Let me know your thoughts as always. Subscribe for more. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.